Everyone. All right, so who is excited for new shades? I know I am, and I have been using some of these and so super excited for them. So first, what is coming? I'm gonna show you. So we do currently have our Youth Lock category right now under Lumi Shine, and we are launching all of these. So super excited. We've got people from Texas. Hi, everyone. We have 5 new shades coming in one category and 3 new shades coming in from another one. So let's get right into it. So NNWC, Natural Warm Copper. These are so super rich. I'm going to show you what they look like. What I love about our book is what they are on here is what they are on a dial. Our book doesn't lie. So what you see is what you get. And we also have Natural Warm. We have 3 shades coming in Natural Warm, 4, 6, and 8, and Natural Warm Copper, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Let's take a look at them right now. All right, so I wanted to show you these. These are on extensions. All right, so this here is going to be our level 9 Natural Warm Copper. So super rich. And I know you're thinking, oh, that doesn't look like a 9. And it doesn't, because when you put it on 100% gray hair, it is going to appear like a level 9. These inside Youth Lock under Lumi Shine are a bit more opaque. Hi from Estonia. So because they're more opaque, you're going to get more dye load, more pack for your punch. This is for someone who has resistant gray hair, for hair that is showing all 5 signs of aging: dull, lifeless, lackluster, no shine, and obviously the color. All right, next, this is going to be our 8 NC, and you can see, look how rich that is. There's no products in here, so you can see the shine, all from Lumi Shine. Diana, how can you get that book? Check in with your local rep or your store where Joico is sold. I don't know if you're here in America, but we have many distributors: Cosmoprof, Armstrong McCall, State RDA. So check in with your rep or where Joico is sold, and they have them. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Europe. So happy to have you here. Hi, Montreal. All right, here is going to be 6 Natural Warm Copper. This is something I just used just the other day. I am so excited for this shade. This is going to be one of my most used shades here. And then 5 and 4. So you can see, yes, they're deep, but they're still super rich, packed with punch in your color. So that is our Natural Warm Copper. And then let's take a look at our NNWs. So 4, 6, and 8. So here's level 4, Natural Warm. I like this because it is really soft on the hair. So it's not going to be overtly warm like some of our NGs. So if NG is too warm for you and N is not warm enough, now you have something right in the middle for you to go to inside Youth Lock. Then we have, this is our level 6, and then our level 8. And yes, they are deeper. They're meant to be deeper so that when you put them on aging hair, it will pull lighter. All right, next is why we're all here, Lumi 10. So I'm gonna be showing you my technique today. 10-minute high contrast color. I'm gonna show you how to put 3 services all in one. So we launched Lumi 10 last year, exploded. It's so amazing. I actually just used it this morning in the salon. I was at the salon this morning, and I had to do a regrowth and gloss all at the same time. I had her in and out in 1 hour. She came in at 7, she left at 8 o'clock. I cannot live without Lumi 10. It's so amazing. And now we have more shades. So we have 5 new shades. We have our NVs. I'm gonna be showing you these today. I'm so excited about our NVs. We have 5, 7, and 9 NV. So super exciting. And then we have 6 and 8 NG. So let's take a look at those as well. All right, so starting with the NGs. So this is going to be 8 and 6 NG. So amazing. Oh my gosh, I love these shades. Very gold. I have so many clients I'm going to be using this on. And again, with our Lumi 10, just like Youth Lock, they pack a lot of punch of color. So they might appear just slightly a little bit deeper than the level up, and that's because of the dye load that is inside of our Lumi 10. That's going to have our quick coverage system. It's going to cover in 10 minutes. So with our quick coverage system, mixed with our activator, our Lumi 10 activator, you're going to get everything you need in just 10 minutes. So what's the difference between Lumi 10 and Youth Lock? Both are permanent, both have a heavier dye load. Youth Lock is meant for aging hair, so it's going to have Baruti fruit inside of it, and that's going to really help heal the hair. It's also packed with collagen inside of our Youth Lock, so that's for aging hair. Lumi 10 is meant for the client that needs to get in and out the door. It's got our quick coverage system, and it's actually ultra conditioning, even more so than our permanent. So you're going to get everything you need without sacrificing any quality inside our 10-minute color. So this is what we're going to be using today, and this really, really excites me because they're cool. So this is going to be our level 5 NV, and look, there's no warmth in there. And also, this is not a pink purple. This is a deep, cool purple. So sometimes you get those violets in tones that you're like, oh, this is supposed to be violet, but it's more on the pink side or red violet. And this is not. This is going to be cool violet. So that is going to be our level 5. We're going to be using that today. Okay. Then we have 7. Okay. And then my favorite shade. This is 9 NV inside Lumi 10. Beautifully nice and cool. So those are our 3 shades inside Lumi 10. And we're going to be using 2 of these shades today. So let's get to it. I'm going to be showing you how to put 3 services in one, because sometimes we have clients, we need to get them in and out. We have clients who are running late. Sometimes they started out as a no-call, no-show, and then they show up 10 minutes later and you don't really have a lot of time because you have to consult with them. That 10 minutes is so precious. And we need to do a lot of quick services in the salon. I know I have that being here in Vegas. That's where I'm at. So I'm going to be showing you today how to do this. We're going to transform someone who's a little bit too warm, and we're going to be mixing 2 tones together. I love a juxtaposition with tones where you're mixing cools and warms together all in the same head. Not everybody has to be level 22 white, silver head to toe, and not everybody has to be just super warm. I like to mix them together and have a nice synergy between cool and warm. So I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to take a nice contrasting base. I'm going to do all this with just 10 foils and a multi-dimensional gloss. And that's what I'm going to show you today. So I did this for you guys yesterday just to prep it. Now let's get to it. All right, so this is the mannequin that I'm going to be using. You can see she's very warm. And I'm going to be using our NVs in here. Thank you for putting up those formulas. My formulas are right there. For those of you who are just joining, I'm going to be showing you our brand new shades from Lumi 10 today in my 10-minute contrast color. If you're just joining, tell me where you're from. And with this mannequin, she actually has some great flex in here. And when are they gonna bring reds in Lumi 10? I have a lot of clients asking. Oh, stay tuned. We might be working on something. The new shades that we have, the NGs, super great to use. We don't have any reds right now, but I'll definitely pass that on. I would actually love some reds. I am doing so many reds lately. It is like crazy. I'm actually loving how many reds I've been doing, but I would actually love some Lumi 10 reds. I have a client who does not cover her gray hair. I use a level 8, not even with Lumi 10 can the gray hair be covered. What is some of the issues you're having with that gray coverage? Are you making sure that she has clean hair? Are you making sure that you're processing it the appropriate amount of time? If she has really resistant hair, I probably wouldn't use, and you're having a lot of issues, go to Youth Lock and try that. Make sure that you're mixing it with 20 volume equal parts and processing it the appropriate amount of time. If you're having additional issues, sometimes we just have those resistant clients. There's like 1 for every like 1,000. You might need to like pre-soften them and make sure you're doing that. Pre-soften is something I know it's like an old hairdresser term, but sometimes we have to do that. Also, what formula are you using? Sometimes it can come down to formulation or application a lot of times. So if you also want to DM me, I can help you, Maria, with your question with gray coverage. Follow me on Instagram at Brandon Corbett Hair. I answer DMs all the time. All right, so before we get started, I always prep my clients with Defy Damage Pro Series 1, Bond Protecting Color Optimizer. And how I like to explain this to my clients, because I'm always talking to my clients and I'm always telling them what I'm doing. I call it the 80-10-10 rule. I talk to them about hair 80% of the time. 10% I talk to them about their life, and 10% I talk to them about mine. I'm always trying to elevate myself as a hair professional because we have to fight a lot of things out there. People think we just went to beauty school or just a hairdresser. And no, I'm a very well-educated hairdresser. We have to be chemists, artists, mathematicians, geometrists, therapists. So I'm always talking to my client and telling them exactly what I'm doing. So with Defy Damage, I always like to explain it like two people going to the beach. You have the sun, and if one person doesn't put sunblock on and one person does, that person's going to be protected. Now, if you put sunblock on, are you still susceptible to potential damage? Yes, but sunblock is going to help reduce that. That is exactly what Defy Damage Pro Series 1 does. It reduces the possibility of breakage or of damage by 80%, making the hair 5 times stronger. So this is the protection before any possible damage can occur. And I was talking to you, and we're almost through the entire head. All you gotta do is just shake it up, spray in short bursts, down the hair shaft, comb for even distribution, and done. And that's all. I have Lumi 10 and it's very helpful. Awesome, good. Anna, I totally agree. Lumi 10 has been a savior. I don't know why, but there's been a lot of people lately that are either running late or have to get out of my chair. I had someone the other day, they were coming in for an 8 o'clock appointment and she's like, she was in for everything. I had it blocked for like 2.5 hours. She's like, I have to leave by 9. I'm like, okay, well, today's gonna be Lumi 10. And I charge extra for that. Who is charging extra for Lumi 10? I know I am, because it is a little bit more expensive. It's premium color to me. So with premium color, I definitely am going to be charging more for that. All right, so let's just make sure we can see here. All right, so sectioning. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna section. We're gonna be placing 10 foils in, and that's all we need to do. For those of you just joining in, tell me where you're from. I'm in Las Vegas myself. We're going to be showing off our new shades here with Lumi 10. Also, check out our website at joico.com to see all of our other new shades from Lumishine with our Youth Lock colors that just came out as well. All right, so the way that I like to section, let's talk about sectioning, because a lot of times we just get into like robot mode and we just take 4 sections and call it a day. What I like to do is I like to look at the crown and see where the crown is falling, because sometimes you have that split crown that is really hard, and then your eye draws attention to that if you highlight that. So what I like to do is find where the crown is, and I'm gonna go slightly under it by about 1 inch, and then I'm gonna curve into the ear. And what I'm gonna do is clip that away. And the reason I like to do that, I'll show you here. So here's my crown, and I curve into the ear. When I do any highlighting then, it creates a seamless blend because these are gonna lay over one another. So instead of just taking straight down here, go right under the crown, curve into the ear. So if you're trying to create blended color, this falls over one another when it lays down. And you can also add depth into here for someone who has fine hair. Don't highlight fine hair right here. You want to keep that deeper so that it looks like an infinity look instead of drawing your eye to that attention. Your eye is always going to go where it's brightest. Okay, so I'm going to clip this here. We're going to be starting in the back. I'm going to show you here again. All right, here's my crown. I'm going to go slightly under it. And the head is curved, the head is not straight. So because we're not working on straight planes, we're working on curves. I don't take a straight, I'm going to curve into the ear. Everything I do is all about curves because that's how our head is. And I always am telling my clients, I am custom tailor fitting this color to your head shape. All right, so now let's start working here. All right, so I'm gonna be placing 10 foils. That's all I need to do. And we're gonna create maximum impact in a small amount of time. This is for that client wants to get in and out the door get 3 services in one, a regrowth and a highlight and a gloss all at the same time. So I'm gonna be working with Blonde Life and 10 volume here. And this is my consistency, okay? I like a pretty kind of thicker consistency, especially if I'm doing a quick service. Think about it, don't do a higher developer. Remember, thicker is quicker. So if you're wanting to increase the speed of your lightener, don't always have to go up in developer, just make it thicker and it'll work faster. All right, hi Jeremy, hi Erica. All right, so I'm gonna work right around here, this area right here, and I'm really inspired by this. And this area here, we wanna really fit that color into this area. So instead of just taking a straight, I'm not saying that's wrong, this is just a different way of thinking. I have extreme insomnia and I just think about hair things. Some people TikTok, I think about hair. And I'm gonna be working on a curve here. So instead of just taking a straight, I'm going to start a little bit behind there and I'm going to curve, follow the curve pattern of that area of the nape. Again, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. I can see everything. Now, instead of taking a stagnant weave, which is this, 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 and then it creates chunks. And also we're doing this a lot, all right, when we're doing this. And each time you do this, it takes about 3 seconds. So I thought about how can I reduce the time that it takes, reduce the flicking of my wrist because I want to be a hairdresser forever. I don't want to have to get surgery. And I'm probably going to work till I'm, 95, 105 years old. So I'm going to take my comb and I'm going to hold it just like this. And I'm going to be doing this action. I'm going to be swirling, and I'm going to follow my curvature. So I swerve under because if you swerve over, you get the section above. So I'm going to swirl here and outline my area. And what that does is it creates an organic looking weave. We have some thick areas, some fine areas, and that's going to be more lived in, more blended, more organic instead of stagnant. Now all I'm doing is I'm actually moving my fingers, not my wrist. And this creates a more blended, lived in weave section. All right, now, sometimes we kind of get into these robot modes. So this is just a different way of thinking about it. So a lot of times we take our weave and we just drop the bottom section. All right, so I thought about when is it appropriate to do this? When is it appropriate to do this? So if I had really, really fine hair, I'm going to not highlight the bottom because your eye is always drawn to where the light is. So if I highlight this and this is hanging down here, it can make it look more stringy. Instead, I would highlight the top. Now, vice versa, if this is a client of mine and I'm in my consultation and I'm talking to her and saying, hey, how do you normally wear your hair? Are you at the gym? Do you normally wear it up? Do you curl it? What do you normally do? So a lot of my clients, they have their hair up a lot. So if they're wearing their hair up and I'm trying to do a quick service with the maximum impact, I'm gonna highlight this so that you can see it and it's not all just interior highlighting. So when you are highlighting your client, just think about their lifestyle, how they normally wear their hair. All those different things really go into consideration. So the other thing, just to help with blending color, think about your application a lot too, all right? A lot of times we put our brush down, okay? And then we put our product on the mids and ends, okay? And then we go back through and blend it away. However, let's think about how product works. Have you ever washed one of your clients out and thought, oh my gosh, I know I blended that so well, and there's a line. Product does not wait for you to blend this away to start working, okay? So instead of putting a line in here and then going down, because this is gonna start working, and you might be working on a lot of long hair, this can start creating a line before you even realize it, right? Bleach, lightener, color, it's not gonna wait for you to blend it away for it to start working. So instead, I will show you what I do next. I'm gonna put this as a balayage. I'm gonna show you how I correct that. This isn't all the time, but it does open it up for the potential for a line to be created. And I wanna show you a few different ways to have insurance policies for lines not to be created in the hair. So there's one foil, all right? Now, instead of just taking one right behind it, I'm going to go right above. We're trying to create maximum impact with less work. And I'm gonna work on a curve. So I'm gonna think about how the hair lays, and we have hair that's all down here. So I'm gonna go right above it, and I'm going to curve all the way down. I'm gonna clip this up, and I'll show you. So now, this is gonna be our next section here. So we have this entire curve that goes all the way over. So we're getting a lot of surface here. Now let's think, I'm going to take this section, I'm going to weave off of it just like this, okay? And pull this over. This hair has to travel further, this hair has to travel further if I put my foil up in here. What that does is it creates dips and valleys throughout the entire section without you even having to try because of how geometry works. So I'm going to circle weave right off the base. You see I don't even have to pick up the hair. And then this is my entire section here. So we have a lot of hair. I'm going to take this and I'm going to hold it taut, squeezing it together. Take my foil, place it up under, and hold it there. Now, here's where I changed how my application is. So that I don't create any lines in the hair, I'm gonna blend from the first stroke of my brush. So always think about that. I'm gonna start blending here, hold it. That way I have no lines in the hair. So insurance policy number 1, make sure that you are blending from the first stroke. Do we have any questions? If you do, pop them in the chat. Who's excited about new Youth Lock and Lumi 10 shades? I know I am. It's been a little bit since we had new shades, and I'm so excited that they're here for you. I've been playing with them for a little bit, and I know you're gonna absolutely love them. Good to see all the new people joining in. Coming to you from Vegas. All right. Now we can see we have this entire foil all the way coming from this area here, okay? So this is gonna lay over here. We got this entire corner all taken care of. Gonna fold this up. And there's 2 foils done. Okay. All right, so excited for the NG shades. Me too, nice to see you, Michelle. Thank you for joining. Miss you, it's been a hot minute since I've seen you. All right, now we're gonna come to this other side. Look at this curve here in this section, okay? So what I'm going to do, instead of just taking a slice, I'm gonna tailor my color into this section. So I'm gonna take a curve parting. So there's my curve. And what this is doing is I'm custom fitting this color into the shape of this client's head. It's kind of the difference of just going and buying a t-shirt and then going and buying a t-shirt and having it tailor-made. It is custom fitted to you. So I'm going to take my comb, and again, I'm going to wrap under. Hi, Jeanette, under. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. Again, what we normally would do with a weave is take the hair, flick, and that can create lines in the hair, and it's all this different motions. So this is just a different way of thinking. That's the great thing about being a hairdresser, is there's so many different ways to get to the exact same effect. Hopefully we can see each other soon. Oh, I really want to see you. All right, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to circle weave. And what I'm doing is I'm following that section. Now I have a more organic, lived-in section. So the 10-minute color can stay on longer than 10 minutes if your foiling and highlights just can't go under the dryer. What else did she say? Oh, correct. So Sandra, can you process, I'll answer both those questions. Can you process Lumi 10 longer? You can. If you see, I'm actually doing my highlights first. I'm going to do my Lumi 10 after, because that only processes at 10 minutes. So, so that's that one. If you process it longer, it will get darker. Okay, so just know that. So it will be darker. And now, is it going to be like turning black and everything? No, but it will get progressively darker. So Lumi 10 should be processed at 10 minutes. And what I love about LumiShine is everything is so easy. Everything's mixed 1-to-1. So you will mix Lumi 10 with the Lumi 10 activator only. Don't mix it with 20, don't mix it with 10. It only gets mixed with this 1-to-1. And then we don't recommend anything to be put under a dryer. Just let it do its natural thing. It's all formulated to not go under a dryer. Because think about what a dryer can do. Dryer puts a lot of heat here and then not here. So you could really speed up here and then have a lot of unpredictability, okay? You could also create damage and everything. So Blonde Life, LumiShine, everything is formulated that you don't need to put it under a dryer. Always like to let it go. I always call it low and slow, especially with like my highlighting. If they have to sit a little bit longer, you know, then at least their hair is still healthy and I'm not blasting it under a dryer. All right, so I'm gonna put this under here. And now you can see, because I went on this curve, I'm creating dips and valleys just with my subsection, all right? So what I'm doing is I'm building in texture with color without even having to try, just based on my sectioning alone. All right, I'm gonna start blending from the first brush stroke. So I'm creating insurance policies that this is gonna be blended color without having to tease, without having to try. Sometimes when we're doing balayage or we're doing blended color, we have kind of that color fear in our mind, like, oh my gosh, I hope this gets blended, I hope this gets blended. So we sit there and we're like blending, blending, blending. I am not a tease queen. Props to those who can tease the hair and get it out successfully. I'm not great at that. I don't like to tease the hair, but that's just my personal thoughts. There's nothing wrong with it. So I just like to create ways that I don't have to create, or don't have to tease the hair. And this is one way. So all my insurance policies, I'm doing curved sections. When this lays down, even if I put a line on it, because of my subsection here, if it lays down, it's already going to be at an angle. I'm creating dips and valleys because I'm working on a curve. And then my application has dips and valleys. So I have lots of multiple ways that I'm creating insurance policies of not having lines in the hair. All right, so now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna do my second foil, and watch, this is actually gonna go over this foil. I'm gonna take a section, gonna curve all the way up. What I'm doing is these are going to now crisscross over that. See where that lays? Actually, I wanna take a little bit more hair. There we go. Nice to see everybody here. I'm currently working on my 10-minute contrast color. And I'm working with Blonde Life Lightning Powder and 10 Volume. All right, so we have this whole section here, and we see this laying down. We're getting over here, we're getting here, getting here. We're getting a lot of surface area covered here. So I'm gonna take my comb, and I'm gonna swirl. And because we're using 10-minute color, but I'm putting in just 10 foils, I'm not looking for level 10. I'm just looking to create high contrast dimension like you see in here. So if we see those highlights in there versus the base, we got really great contrast in here, okay? And that is all with just Blonde Life and 10 Volume. Blonde Life gives you 9+ levels of lift, and you don't need to use 20, 30 volume to get to there. A lot of times I have a client, I use 5 volume and make her platinum blonde. All developers will get you there, just at different speeds. Okay, I'm gonna put, see how I'm holding this taut? Because we're getting a big surface area, I'm gonna hold this taut, put my foil up under, and I'm gonna start blending from the first brush stroke. And you see, I'm always having my brush on its side. I always like to add more product. You'll see I go back for product a good bit. I don't like to waste the product. I don't like to have oversaturation. It's all about that product control. Welcome everyone. Hope you're all having a great Tuesday and a great May. Had a really funny thing. NSYNC was the first thing playing today. And I thought, well, there's Justin Timberlake. He makes a lot of money when the first week of May. First thing I heard today in the salon. All right, so now we have this foil. We're getting this entire surface area here, holding this taut, creating dips and valleys, and high impact color, all with just 10 foils. So there's 4. All right, that completes that area. Okay, now I'm gonna go into the front. All right, now with the front, we know this is the money area. This is what people like to see. This is what they're paying for. I'm gonna put this other side out for control. Now in the salon, obviously we're teaching today, so it goes a bit slower, but in the salon, I actually did this Saturday, and this morning. You can get this in a jiffy. And I know I'm just doing 10 foils and then I'm gonna do a base and gloss, and then everything processes for 10 minutes and you're good to go. All right, so now in the front, I see sometimes we take slices, right in the front, and we take slices and everything, but let's think about how the head shape is and the hairline, okay? So Jill Buck, my friend here from Joico, she likes to call this the cul-de-sac. And I thought about, well, how does this really work? And we wanna do quick foiling, high impact color. So instead of just taking a slice, because the head is not straight, I'm actually gonna follow the curve of this head and I'm gonna make an S shape. So I'm gonna turn this here, make sure we can see. Okay, so I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna go a little behind the ear, about 1 centimeter, and I'm going to follow this down. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna curve and follow this down. So if you see here now, we have an S shape. I'm gonna clip this here for control. All right, so we have this S shape here. What is this doing? Tailoring my color to my client's head shape. Now I'm going to circle weave right off of there. Circle, 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 little mini circles. We're gonna go up the S and down the curve. We're doing this entire side here. Right? Now, because this is the front, this is the money area, I'm actually gonna clip that top and we're gonna highlight this. Now, because I don't want this to go to her root, I want this to look more lived out, lived in, and flowing outside of her style. So I'm going to hold this taut here. Now you could also do this with our Joico artistry foils because I know this is a mannequin, so we know her head shape is slightly a bit smaller than the normal person. I'm going to put my foil there and then apply my color, and I'm going to get this entire section here. Now, could you split this into 2 foils? You could, but I'm doing this all in 1 foil for an absolute reason. With the subsection of this S, when the hair comes in, it creates geometry. So this has longer to travel, shorter to travel, longer to travel. When this spreads out, this is going to create dips and valleys in the head without me even having to try. Now, because I'm going like this with my color, I'm creating dips and valleys in that way again. Yes, of course, Diana, I will show, Diana, I will definitely show the circle weave again. So because I am doing dips and valleys with my subsection and then dips and valleys with my application, I therefore get blended color, no teasing needed, fully impact color, and it's tailored to my client's head shape. Do you guys like that idea? I know it's hard, I can't hear you. It'd be great if we had sound on these, but if you like that, put that in the chat. I'd love to see your guys' reaction. All right. So this is going to be that front money area. Now, if you think that you're worried about this folding up into this area, take another foil over top and then fold together. Okay, that foil is done. Now I'm going to go right behind it. And again, I'm gonna follow the shape of the head, and I'm gonna go a little bit more over the ear so we're getting a bit more surface. So I'm gonna follow the head shape. Head shape is not straight. Head shape is curved. All right. So I'll bring this closer so you guys can see. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to show you my circle weave again. Just going to clip this for control. So what I'm doing, Diana, if you try it, show me on social media, tag me so I can see. I would love to see your work. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go right like this. Okay? Don't go up because that'll grab this area up here. So I'm going to take my comb, I'm going to put it right here on the surface, and I'm following, I'm going to outline this area. So I'm going to follow my line. You don't even have to pick this up. You can go right off this surface. So I'm going to circle, circle, circle. See how I'm doing tiny little circles. And what that's doing is it's grabbing hair underneath and on top, underneath and on top. And then when I pull this, it looks like a more organic weave now. We can see that weave if you see this against my hand. We got big areas, we got small areas. Okay. Actually, I want to pick up a little bit more hair over this ear area. All right. So this is going to be my whole section here. Hope you saw that, Diana, now. And habit comes after you do something 10,000 times. So I've been doing this now for about a year, and it's become quite the habit. So practice it on like your client that you know is like your bestie. You can try anything new on. If you have like a slower day and you know you have a bit more time, don't try something brand new when you're like crazy in the salon. That's when a lot of things can fail, and then we don't ever do it again because we're like, okay, that didn't work that time. I'm never doing that again. Try something brand new when you're in the salon on a slower day, or you have that one client you can always experiment on, or do what I do. I get a mannequin out. I still practice on mannequins. I've been a hairdresser now for 17 years, and I still practice on mannequins all the time. So this is foil 6. We're going to do 4 more foils, and then we're going to put our Lumi 10 in, saving that for the last part because that works in just 10 minutes. I am going to show you exactly what I'm going to do here. So when it colors, it presents as a softer lightning. Absolutely. So Diana asked, with this, because we're not going to be processing it a long time, this is going to be a softer color, yes. And you can see here, okay, we still get bolder pieces. Look at this compared to the root area, all right? We're still getting boldness. There's a highlight there. We're getting bold contrast. Look at the lightness there, right? Now, this is toned with a warm toner and a cool base. I'm combining cool plus warm, cool and warm to create a cohesive look. But I'm still getting some impact, so we can see that around the face. We can see this around the bottom hairline, and you can see that it's blended. I didn't have to tease it or anything. All right, again, in the front, we got this highlights right there. All right, so you can see that it still is creating impact, even with 10 volume, and in 10 minutes as well, with 10-minute processing. Now this is gonna process probably about 20 minutes total because we are putting the highlights in right now. Then we have to take time to apply our base color of Lumi 10, and then I'm gonna be glossing the mids and ends as well. So because of that, the lightener is gonna process for about 20-ish minutes. So yes, you can still get some impact inside of this. All right. Now we're gonna be working on this front here. Again, I'm gonna follow the hairline. So I'm going to follow the hairline. Let's clip this away. All right, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna circle right off this base. I'm gonna start down here and I'm going to follow my subsection. Circling, 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 circling. Now because this is the front, I'm going to pull this weave out. Okay, we're going to clip this up for control, and our front is what we're going to highlight. Any questions from you guys about our new shades? We have 8 new shades coming in both Lumi 10. I'm sorry, Youth Lock has 8 new shades, and then Lumi 10 has 5 new shades. Very, very exciting about all of them. Our Lumi 10 new shades are 6 and 8 NG. Just beautifully rich gold, super gold shades that will work in 10 minutes. And then we have 5, 7, and 9 NV and Lumi 10. In Youth Lock, we have our new NNWC, Natural Warm Copper. For those red lovers out there, you can get such a rich base with our Youth Lock NNWC. It's not going to be overtly copper, so it gives you lots of control and all the gray coverage and all the repair and reconstructing abilities. Because it's not, aging hair is not just gray hair. Aging hair is dull, lackluster, has no movement, and our Youth Lock color is going to take care of that because it is infused with collagen and baruti fruit, which is really going to help all the shine and repair in the hair. So wiry, coarse, resistant hair, no more. We also have our NNW coming in Youth Lock, and that is now available where Joico is professionally sold. All right, so that's that front area. Okay, I'm gonna clip that there just for some control. So you guys can see, I'm going to outline right behind it. So I'm gonna go past the ear is right here, and I wanna get a lot of surface. So I'm gonna follow the shape of the head. Okay. And by following the shape of the head, I'm automatically getting dips and valleys, and I'm getting blending without even having to try. Okay, so I'm gonna take my comb. Okay, our swatch is going to be available in the new shade. Jessica, yes, they are available. Can show you what they're gonna look like. And then I'm noticing your color is kind of thick. What were you saying? Thicker is quicker. How does that work? Yes, Diana. So let me ask Jessica's question first. So upside down. So in Youth Lock, here is our new Youth Lock. It goes right into the book. Here's our NNWs and then our NNWC. And then with Lumi 10, here's our new Lumi 10 shades right there. These are available. Please check with your local distributor or your sales rep where you order your Joico. And then yes, I think it was Kelly was asking about my lightener. Because I'm working in a quick service, instead of using like 30 volume, 20 volume, I'm not a person that likes to use high volumes. Not saying it's wrong, it's just my preference. So I like to make a thicker consistency because thicker lightener, that's my consistency, is going to work quicker. Thicker is quicker. So you can also do it the other way. If something is processing too fast, add more developer to it. Don't go up a developer, just add your same developer, and then what it's going to do is reduce the speed of it. So you can reduce or increase the speed of your lightener by making it thicker or looser viscosity. All right, so there's my circle weave. We can see we have a nice organic looking weave instead of that stagnant, and also I don't have to do all these flick motion. So I'm saving my hands, not creating stripes in the hair. Now, if you want to create stripes in there, that is totally appropriate then. This is just a different way of thinking. So I'm going to take my product and I'm going to start blending from the first brush stroke. Great thing about lightener is what you see is what you get. It's not forgiving. So if it doesn't look blended, it won't process blended. Awesome, thank you for showing them. I love the Lumi tan. Awesome, Jessica, please tag us, tag me, tag Joico. We would love to see your work, especially with Lumi 10. Also show off to your clients that you're learning today. Everyone here, take screenshots, show that you're learning and taking extra education. This is why you should increase your prices. Every person here who is a hairdresser is worth your fee, if not more. Don't ever undercharge yourself. Don't ever haggle. I don't understand why people come to us and think that we're like the Sunday market and can haggle a price. The price is the price. Everything is going up. If you haven't increased your prices, you should, because know one thing, as a hairdresser, you are worth it. You are worth every bit of your fee and more. Sometimes people say, I can't believe you charge what you charge for that. I feel bad. I never feel bad because I went to school. I take extra education. I still go to education. I've been a hairdresser for 17 years. I practice. I love what I do, and I give amazing customer service to my clients. So I know that I'm worth it, and you guys should be worth it too. And it doesn't matter what the price is. You can charge it no matter where you're at. I'm from Pennsylvania originally and lived there for 30 years and charged just as high prices as I do now because I knew I'm worth it. And it's all about that confidence. So when you have confidence behind the chair, your clients will feel that and know that. If you don't have confidence in what you're charging, they'll feel that and then try to haggle the price. All right, we're gonna do 2 last foils here. So we got 8 foils, 2 in the front, 2 in the sides. Now we're gonna get this crown area here going. Because I want to create some top surface contrast. So here is my crown, right? I am going to go around that and I'm going to take a curved section. I want this color to come floating outside of there. So you see that round area here. I'm going to circle weave that entire section. I'm going to outline that. And now this hair is going to lay over top of this entire area here. I'm going to take it, I'm going to hold it taut. But see, this has longer to travel, this has longer to travel. When this lays down, that now is a shadow root. That now is a shadow root. That now is a tiny little regrowth. Okay? So I'm creating dips and valleys just by that section alone. Let's see that again. So here's my subsection. I'm going to take my comb and I'm going to put it here and I'm going to circle, 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 circle. I'm outlining that entire area. And then I'm going to stand on this side. So I got my weave. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to highlight this way. And you just want to think about how this falls. So you can see this is stretched over here. Okay, if I turn this. Okay, you can see this is stretching over here. I'm going to put the color here, but it lays here. Because of that, I've now created a shadow root without even having to try for a shadow root. I'm going to put my product on. And I'm going to really saturate those ends, but I'm creating dips and valleys on top of already placed dips and valleys. Dip, valley, dip, valley. So what that does when the hair lays over this way, I've created a balayage effect. I've created a lot of surface area covered in just one foil. And I've created a shadow root effect without even having to try, just by pulling the hair on the other side. It's the whole work smarter, not harder. I'm doing 10 foils only. That's it. Making sure I have great saturation. I'm going to put a foil on top just to protect my work, and this side's done. I'm going to be doing a mid toner, gloss, and then an end toner. we're gonna process everything for 10 minutes. Now, we have a little bit left to go, about 10 minutes with you. If you're not following me, please do go give me a follow at Brandon Corbett Hair. I know Erica will put that in there. I know she already did, but for those of you just coming in, follow me at Brandon Corbett Hair. I'm gonna have the finals, the afters in there so you can see all that. All right, so we have our whole curve here. This is from middle of the head, wrapped around to middle of the head. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to circle weave that. I'm going to circle weave this all around that subsection. And what this is going to do is cover the entire area. This comes over here, here, here. Because I'm pulling across the way, I'm going to apply my color here, here. This will then come here. The color's going to live around here. It creates depth there. All right, so after this, since this is my last foil, I'm going to be working with 2 separate Lumi 10 formulas, and there's a full reason for that. I wanted to talk to you about some of the real life scenarios that we have in the salon. Have you guys ever had any clients, I'm sure you all have, that they come in and they have great coverage around where they see it, the temples, the front hairline, right in the middle part. Gray always loves to show up where you don't want to see it. Never starts like right here. But have you ever put just one formula on someone and then they turned out that they were a different color around the temples versus the rest of the head? So I'm going to show you, if a client wanted more brightness, would you do more foils? Oh, of course you could. I'm just trying to do something that's really express. If they wanted more brightness, ask them, Jessica, where they want their brightness, and really focus on there. This is a full head partial, a true partial. We're doing 10 foils to create an express service. So if they wanted more, totally go ahead and add more. Good question. Hi from Holland. Oh my gosh, so my background is Dutch. I miss all of my Dutch people. Hello. I was in Holland in 2018. I really want to go back. I was in Eindhoven. I miss all of my Holland and Dutch people. So hello to all of you. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm working with 2 different formulas. If Erica wants to put the formulas in the chat again, I'm going to be working with 5NV from Lumi 10 around the hairline, and then I'm going to do equal parts of 5NV and 7NV the rest of the way. The reason being is it's for those clients that when you're they come in, they have like right here, kind of that T area, they have a lot of a lot of gray there, and then in the rest of the area they don't. So the reason I'm working with 2 different Lumi 10 formulas is I'm doing corrective color at the exact same time as I'm doing an express service. So if you have a client that they're not gray everywhere, they're gray right in the front only, or they're gray in the back, think about your formulas and what you're putting on the head, because not all of the same formula is equal to everywhere else. So that's why I'm doing this, to show you corrective color as you work along. So I'm gonna do this right in this front area of 5NV, and then the rest of the head is going to be 5NV plus 7NV equal parts to create a 6NV. And then I'm going to gloss the rest of the head. Close that. So I'm gonna do that there. Then I'm gonna gloss the rest of the head using 6NW right in the mids, and then 6NW plus 8NW on the ends. We're gonna process this all for 10 minutes, and then we will see the results. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We are already at our 1 hour. Can you believe that already? Time flies when you're having fun. So I'm gonna finish up doing this color, and then I'm going to put all the results on my social media at Brandon Corbett Hair. Thank you.